Is that
Yeah,
Arun?
this is
Oh, hey,
fine.
Arun, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great. And
Oh,
you?
great to see you. Yeah, good, excellent. Oh, great, glad that you're here. Yeah, we're just starting. The stream has gone live now. It's the website One Planning Me. We've got Arun and Lokesh and myself. Oh, great to have you with us. Sorry, yeah, Arun, we were just talking about, obviously we're in this Jitsi thing. We've done bits and pieces. Yeah, we were just seeing how, while we can now get the YouTube link up, we can't, like, between posting both the YouTube link and the Hangout link, both of which are happening manually at the moment, then we can't. There's gonna. I mean, it's certainly not the end of the world. It's just we need to go in and like delete one of the things each time, which is not ideal. Obviously, we'd like to fix it in the long run. I just want to share my screen and look at that. And what we've got going on is that Jitsi has a slightly different workflow from Hangouts, and so if we are moving over to it, that requires, you know, some changes. So we've just got it deployed now so that we can edit the YouTube link, which we couldn't manually do before. And since the Hangout API was lost, that meant that none of the YouTube things would get. See that, but now, so the problem that we've got, you can see, Lokesh, is that we've got a new kind of event being created on both occasions. You see what's happened there? We've got like now 3 Martin Fowler scrums, 2 Kent Beck scrums, and 2 website One planning ones. And so we've kind of, I think the situation that we've got there is that the posting the YouTube link is, rather than just updating the YouTube link on the existing event, in the event instance, it's kind of creating a new event instance. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of, we need to sort of file that as a new bug report. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Which will just get in here. Let's have new issue there, which is ensure that manual update of YouTube link does not create new event instance. It seems like updating YouTube link manually causes a new event instance to be created. Would be great to avoid that. I mean, we maybe we want to talk about the overall flow for this, but that's we'll just. I think that's the issue there. I won't. We've sort of talked about it. I guess I'm. Oh, what should I do there? I mean, should I put? Now, the interesting thing here is if I link to this. Now that one, right? So this is the nil thing, and I guess that's because we haven't deployed the nil fix yet. And then this one, yeah, that's working, and in fact, it even gets the live stream in it. Woohoo! Exciting stuff. But I'll just copy the video URL and say more details in the beginning of this thing. Ah. There we go. But so we're making some sort of progress there. And Matt's here as well. Hey, Matt.
Hi.
Hey. All right. So here we are. So the normal format, I mentioned, because Aaron, maybe your first time here or you haven't been for a while. The idea is that we try to either kind of look back on how things are going and improve on them. That's the sort of retro portion. And, you know, if there isn't anything that we're worried about with the process, then we say, right, let's kick off. Are there tickets that we want to get voted on and move forward? I guess, yeah, we've kind of, you know, particularly with Lokesh has been, you know, knocking off tickets left, right, and center and doing great work. I guess, is there, should we just have a very, very quick retro thing where we're just, you know, does anybody have any suggestions for how we might improve our process going forward, or is it all working okay at the moment?
I have a brief little comment.
Yeah, Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, you were gone one week, and Michael actually went through quickly. Like instead of just going right to does anybody want to vote tickets?
Yep.
Kind of what's in progress.
Okay.
You know, and maybe what's right. You know, a little bit of what's ready and estimated, but more about what's in progress first, and then
Sure.
So that might be a decent change to this meeting format.
I'd be very happy to do that. Yeah, we could certainly do that right now. Great suggestion, Matt.
Thanks.
Any other comments or thoughts on our process at all? If not for the time being, of course, and then anybody should feel free anytime to mention, suggest, different ways of doing things. That's the whole point of the Agile, is that we keep thinking about improving our process. I guess what I'll take Matt's suggestion and we'll go through the in progress column. So so we've got we've got this button to start a Jitsi. Lokesh, you're working on this one, aren't you? This is about you were just talking about it in the yeah. I guess I'm just and in fact this right. If I click here, I will see this. So we were just discussing this in the previous meeting. We kind of unblocked you in terms of saying, just do a simple, hook the Jitsi up to meet to some, hard-coded URL, and we'll get something out, and that will be a first pass. So you're kind of okay with this at the moment, are you?
Yeah.
Cool. We've got there's maybe a bigger thing of like we kind of maybe need to, taking all the different aspects of Jitsi into account, like design the whole user experience flow. And maybe I was saying, Matt, I think you're on the phone, but maybe even do like a mini design sprint on that portion of the app. But I think we won't maybe start that right this second. But, because we're still learning about all of Jitsi's things. Any other comments on this this item? If not, then we'll go on to re-enable email signups. So this is part of. I've been like each morning reviewing different parts of the site, like and sort of blogging about it and making changes and trying to kind of follow the flow that users move through the site. And I have successfully got this email capture stuff working. Does everybody know what this is, or do I need to explain it? I guess that everybody's fine. I sort of have outstanding questions on that. In that, to my surprise, it's kind of all just worked, and I've sort of tested it locally, and it's passing on CI, and it basically re-enables the email sign up that we had disabled like 2 years ago due to spam users, and it sort of addresses this issue that I feel like when we're, the person looking at the sign-in page, not login, sign up, they come to here. I just changed it so that there is a privacy statement now. But just like, I think having this, I would like to, I feel like, for getting as many users signed up as possible, it would be nice for it to have this option here to log in with email, to sign up with email and passwords. And we use the capture to block the spam bots. But so this is working. I think I updated it. It's the issue is, does it need rounds of testing? And now the interesting thing with this one, or interesting to me, is that it's designed to be not automatable, right? It's designed to be that you can only sign up if you're actually like a human. So we can't test the happy path of someone signing in. But I guess I'm just thinking, should I just deploy this and get it out there and see its effect on our sign-up route? I was sort of expecting it to break all sorts of other things, but they at least in CI and my other manual tests seem to have been okay. I guess we could argue that we should have a sad path test in there that checks that the user can't log in without, when it's a robot. At the same time, that means turning on JavaScript on a whole load of tests that don't have JavaScript on, and I'm just like, oh, I don't know, I can't cope. So I was sort of, I guess Does anybody have any? I thought I asked everybody here. Does anybody have any strong feelings on whether this needs more tests? Whether they're happy for it to be merged as it is?
I'm happy, and I think it's a good idea because I tend to not like to allow a lot of sites to use GitHub or. So I subscribe to a lot of places with my email. So some people are more comfortable with that, probably.
Yeah, I mean that's all I'm thinking. That it is definitely good for that reason. I guess it's. I think. Arun, Lokesh, any comments on this one?
Could it be like some things if we are fetching from GitHub or G+, could something break?
In principle, I mean, we're in that situation where, our tests are not, our integration tests are passing, but of course, as we know, tests are not perfect. It's possible that deploying this could introduce some problem that we haven't foreseen. I'm not sure at this moment if we can even detect that until we deploy it. Whether, and I'm just, like, as we saw there, I was just restarting the tests in the background. These complex JavaScript tests, almost for acceptance level, are almost more trouble than they're worth. They're in this unpleasant spot of like they don't break, like they don't catch all of the errors that we would like, and they fail intermittently, and it's just like, bleh. Anyway.
I think the question is, can you roll it back really quickly?
Yeah, I'll certainly be able to roll it back. So
well, then I think it's fine. But.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think let's get it. I think it also increases like the professionalism of our site to say that we've had for 2 years we've had it there saying that email signups are temporarily disabled. I think it's a bit ridiculous, but anyway, yes. Okay, sorry, I spent too much time on that. Let's have a look on here. Other things in progress. So I've got a pull request in for this, a link to opportunities in AV. I've kind of, I don't know, I've sort of held fire on pushing it in because if we then have it, it means that it's another page that's got to be kept up to date with volunteer opportunities. Do you know what I mean? But it's sort of a trivial first step page, I guess. Yeah. If someone pushes me, I'll merge it in and get it up. But I'm focusing on other things. Like it's there and ready to go. So
do it, Sam.
All right.
Get it out there.
Hey. All right. Federico has spoken. That's what I need sometimes. Is like we'll get it out there. I just don't want to have to be the one always. But anybody will be able to edit it. So that's at least that's green. So let's merge it. Oh, it's good. Then I have to do this like up. I guess this is because we're squashing everything. Then the branch has to be rebuilt, and then it fails 2 or 3 times because the JavaScript tests fail. Anyway, okay. We've then got. So this one, I think that's been closed actually. I guess the ticket was not. Yeah, this one that's been done. That was fixed by. We merged Alex's thing there. That was to have some of those static pages in the development environment. So that's done. So I guess we've these ones really should have been in please check actually, shouldn't they? So our getting started page should allow checking on progress. You've got your work in progress pull PR for that, haven't you, Matt? I guess that's kind of, has that fallen by the wayside?
Yeah, I don't really see getting back to that anytime soon.
Okay.
We're part of some sort of, design sprint or something.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of a shame that we haven't. I think it's such an important thing. Did you see the changes that I've made to the getting started page?
Yeah, they were good.
And I'm sort of almost thinking that the thing to do now is if we have getting started, we just create separate pages, right? So it's getting started, step 1, and then rather than this whole page of text that you scroll through, we make the page really short and sweet. And then it's like you click a button to do next.
Right.
Go on to the next one.
Yeah, that was my idea for the.
Right.
That's one of my ideas for that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I really like the ideas that you were having and generating in the design sprint. So should we? I mean, I'd be very happy to see things that you had done as part of that previous work. But but should we close this PR for the moment?
Yeah, that's fine. The branch is still there, so.
Yeah. If at any time you feel like picking it up and you want to show us stuff from it, I'm very happy to see it, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so I guess having closed the PR, does that then move it over? I'm confused now. We still have the thing, I guess, if you're not thinking about picking it up anytime soon, I guess should we take you off the assignees for this?
Yeah, and just move it back somewhere. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, I guess I may well continue
to waste time on it either, but
well, and I think I guess we've got this thing of like the checking off of progress. Yeah, I guess we'll put that back into ready then, maybe. And it's like I think before we get to like checking off of progress, there's just like working out the sequence of steps that we need. You know what I mean? And putting them in separate static pages, and like maybe doing some animations. That's what Federico and I were talking about. So that like each page makes it really clear what you need to do. Although I'm really interested that Free CodeCamp have dropped their, intro to their thing. It's kind of weird. Okay. So that clears out our in progress column. We've got the epic of premium membership, the gem file being currently disorganized and huge. I think it has been alphabeticized. Ed was working on this one at one point. And he's got some other, I think there's like still, if somebody wants to work on this and try and remove the gems we're not using, that's very helpful clear up in the background. There's trying to improve the documentation. We've got this live event should be a first-class citizen. This kind of connects to, we've got this was DeLupus a way back. That was Michael and Corey was looking at it. I think it connects to the idea that. Oh, okay. So the original thing, it comes from in our site. Let's look here, events that we've got. We've got upcoming events, past scrums, create events. I think the original comment from this guy Michael long time ago was that live events are not like there should be a page to go where you can see what's live now. You know what I mean? So, which is I don't know. It's part of a bigger picture. And there's also, just to mention, this other epic of the premium payments, a lot of which has been done, but there remains other things to be done and improve, like on people sponsoring each other and allowing them to cancel and like support for upgrading to more different things. So, okay, that now, of course, I'm a chatterbox. Anybody want to focus in on any of these epics or anything else in the in progress column? I'll take that as a no. Just going into the ready column, we've just moved this one back there. I assign myself these other like clear up of different premium pages. I haven't done, my apologies. I kind of, with my reviews, I ended up focusing on doing things like, re-enabling the email signups and building greeter bots and things. And I don't know, I couldn't help myself. But okay, so that's. Are there other things? Is there anything in the ready or estimated columns that people want to highlight and bring to our attention?
Federico, the private events is there. I know you're might be interested in that.
Yeah, Sam, could you bring that up? Could you locate that?
Yep.
Right near the bottom, kind of.
This one. Yeah, and we've got kind of the interesting thing is we've got private events in as much as, for example, the React mob and the different mobs are now all in the events, but we kind of we don't ping them to the main channels. What it would be nice to be able to do is, we've got these events. I mean, we kind of want them to be visible. We want people to know that there's this cool stuff going on to encourage them to sign up for premium. What would be nice is if you could mark an event as private, and presumably only premium and admins could do that, and then that it would, notify only to the private channel. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
It might notify the general that
it's live.
Session is going on now. Join.
Yeah. I mean that's
join.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of, I think, it could do. It could do. Well,
I mean, if it does that, that's okay. It's like promoting it.
It is. We would have to, if there were a lot of them going on, we'd have to be careful about, cluttering general. I think probably better to, like we have at the moment, is like a list of, here are all the, the events coming up. Some of them private, some public. Yeah. Is to allow, I guess, premiums and admins to create private events, i.e. And we've voted on this in the past, i.e. a flag when set would mean that general and other public channels were not notified. But does anybody else want to? I'll shut up. Anybody else want to say anything about this? It's there. It's voted on to be worked on. I think it's a reasonable estimate of 2. So. Okay. Anything else?
I don't really have anything else. Yeah. No, I just wondered. What since I got you guys here, what do you guys think of that idea? The premium pair channel that would sort of tie into this.
I mean, the
kind of and in fact,
I mean, if we created this functionality, then in principle, any premium member could create an event, and we could have a specific like premium pair notification channel, and that would be notified when a pairing event went live, or it could even have upcoming things. So yeah, it's sounds like a pretty good idea to me.
And I'm sorry, I missed what Matt said.
I think he was saying that the reason that he mentioned this one was because.
Oh yes, I'm aware. Yeah, I know.
Federico,
go on, Matt.
Sorry, what Sam just said is that by doing that ticket would kind of enable what you want.
Yes, I understand. Yes,
okay,
I understand totally. I was just bringing up the idea of that I put in the chat of the actual
room
channel in the Slack. But I'm aware how it all ties in and everything. Yes.
Yeah, but and it would be easier to create that channel, and get in and see if people wanted to join it, and then the functionality in the website can follow on afterwards.
Right. Sure. Yeah. You're right. Simple first.
Yeah. So then I guess the key question is, does anybody have any tickets that they want to get, any new tickets that they want to get voted on so they can be moved into estimated and ready?
Yeah, I think the one you just created.
The one that I just created? Oh, the bug that we just talked about, yes. Okay. Yeah, so let's have a vote on this one. So this is the problem that I think that the manual YouTube update, although it very successfully kind of works, it actually creates a new event instance as if it was kind of like, when we just want it to update the YouTube link on the existing event instance that's running. We sort of assume that something's gone live before someone has updated the YouTube link. Yeah, does anybody need any further discussion of this ticket? I'll just put the vote on. And I mean, I guess it could, one possible solution to it is redesigning the interface slightly so that you put the YouTube, it's a single update and you have two fields, one for YouTube and one for Hangout or Jitsi. The problem there is that we've got like legacy documentation for the MOOC, like with the whole interface not having the YouTube thing there. I mean, I guess it could say YouTube optional there. Okay. All right. So we've almost all voted apart from Arun. Arun, do feel free to vote or to abstain, no opinion. You can see the...
Yeah, I'm trying to understand the issue actually.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, any questions?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I get the issue or what it's about. So I was just thinking. So I just gave an opinion because I'm not sure.
Yeah, you could have said. I mean, I guess. But do you see where my screen at the moment?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so it's specifically about we've just added it, so there's now an edit YouTube link option on here, right?
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah.
So maybe you don't want me to explain anymore, just you want to abstain, but basically we've had ever since the Google Hangout API failed, in order to notify Slack and put the links to the meetings into the websites, we've had to use this edit Hangout link manual operation. But so we've never had a manual way of adding YouTube links, and Lokesh just added that, so that opens a different one here. So they're actually two different things. Now, the problem is that while it works, causing either of these two things to save kind of creates a new event instance on the back end. And so what we end up with is Slack gets pinged twice. We end up with Agile Ventures scrums having two instances of the same event.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the bug. And what we want to do is adjust it so that, if people update one and then the other, I mean, maybe we need to force an order or something, but we want to have, for an individual event, we want only a single representation in the database, and we want the correct YouTube link associated with it.
So I agree with your idea of going with, unifying the fields into a single form. I think that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it could. As I said, my fear is that may then confuse people from the MOOC. But let's see. Anyway, we've all voted, so let's reveal. We've gone with we've got a majority for medium, and Matt's gone for simple. Matt, what makes you think simple?
Oh, I was hoping it's just update if the record exists or something, maybe a couple of lines. But
yeah, I mean, I think the difficulty is that
maybe or something. I don't know.
If we had a nicely designed controller on the back end for managing this, I agree with you. I think what we have is a really strange structure in our Hangouts controller. I don't know if you've ever looked at it. Do you remember when we worked on it for the Twitter thing?
Oh yeah, Twitter is a mess.
Right, and so it's kind of like trying to ping Twitter and it's trying to ping Slack, and it's kind of we've got both the creation and the update operations are both routed through the same method, and it's. I mean, no criticism of the people who created it, because they were working hard with this kind of weird thing where the Hangout API is pinging this data back at a certain frequency, and it's trying to cope with all of these different situations, but it ends up being kind of quite intense and crazy. And so I think that's making sure that kind of rather overblown code does the right thing, is slightly more complex.
Oh, I agree. If you want to show it, it's fine. If not, I agree.
Okay. All right. And I probably shouldn't have started RubyMine because that causes my computer to overheat. And there's well, anyway, RubyMine starting off is a big drain. So let's pop that onto a 2, and that's voted on. We're kind of running out of time. This is the thing. Is like, yeah, it's difficult to fit in a review all of the things and then lots of votes. Was there anything else that people particularly wanted to vote on? Well, I think we've all got things to. Well, does anybody want to assign themselves to any existing things?
Yeah, you can sign me that.
Locus, you want to take this one?
Yeah.
And I guess, I mean, I've still got sort of stuff assigned to me, and I kind of, I mean, unless people like object massively, I'm going to keep on doing my thing where I, you know, review bit, kind of, you know, I have to kind of look at the site holistically and look at how people are sort of stepping through the system and the whole ecosystem, and then keep on working on things. I will get to these, you know, premium updates and things. These are actually just all text changes, so they're kind of low-hanging fruit. Arun, thanks so much for submitting your first pull request in a while. It's wonderful. Do you need guidance on what to be interested in looking for other things that are good to work on?
Yeah, it'd be great if you could, you know, point me to some tasks that need some work on.
Yeah. The I mean, you know, if you're interested in looking at, I mean, this kind of a research task. I mean, if you want to work, I'd say if you want to work kind of independently by yourself and just kind of hack away at something, we've got this new thing. Like, there's a possibility of having a Slack sign-in. You know, that. You know, I think that could be, you know, as Slack is becoming more and more recognizable and we rely on it so heavily, that might be a really nice addition. And if you're interested in it, then that would be cool. And no one else has done anything with it. We haven't even voted on it. You know, it would be kind of a research ticket of like, find out, is this practical easily? What can we do? If you wanted to work with somebody, like, for example, with Lokesh, you know, you guys could pair on, you know, these tickets related to this. I mean, it's quite an important part of our system. You know, people being able to this transition from Hangouts to Jitsi, and there's, you know, Lokesh is working on several tickets, and he's got this new one here. So, you know, there's a series of related. I think I mentioned the Epic. You know, making it simpler to stream video from Jitsi. But if you did work on those, then I think you'd need to coordinate with. Like, you don't have to pair, I mean, but just it would be more important to coordinate. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Madhu. And I think, can you assign me to 1730, the Slack sign-in plan?
Sure.
Yeah, maybe I'll do a bit of research on, you know, whether it's, I mean, how to go about it.
Yeah. All right. I'll do that. I think I'll have to go and add you to the website team in order to assign you.
Yeah, I was going to say that actually.
Go and do that right now.
Yeah,
cool. Okay. Does anybody else have any other business at all, or anything that we need to sort out?
Well, yes, Sam.
Go on.
Yeah, I just wanted to comment that I know we can't do it. I don't have a solution, but for lack of time. But if we could, like, if there were any way we had time some weeks to bring in the event manager board, and it's kind of part of Website One, but it's not. You know, I don't. Do you have any opinion on that?
Yeah, I think we definitely, in some ways, we don't have enough time for this meeting. Yeah. I think it needs to be a kind of squeezing. I'm going to try and move the Autograders meeting to Mondays, and maybe then try and keep Friday clear for a longer run at Website One and the related things. I feel like we're just sort of scratching the surface. We kind of maybe need other design, like some. I feel like we almost need like micro design sprints to kind of work out this new flow with Jitsi and so on.
Yeah, you're right.
And that relates to the stuff that you're doing with Ember and Jitsi and so on. What was I going to say there? I guess the other thing is, so next week I'm traveling, and then I'll be available intermittently. So up to you about what you want to do with having these meetings going forward. You could run them and keep the focus on event. You if you wanted to run them, Matt, on this day at this time, you could make them run longer. You won't have me needing to run after the next meeting, and make the focus more on event manager if you wanted.
Well, I think I might do that, and
yeah,
of course I'll do website 1 first, but I might try to go a little quicker and and just see if I can get, because there's a lot to do if people are interested.
Yeah, totally.
I know it's still in research, but
but I think we definitely need to be researching different things to work out what's possible, and then I'm working from there. Yeah, cool.
So if I could just say, I think that's a good idea. I was going to suggest that we should have an event manager, kind of like we have like a local support, Redeemify, or not Redeemify, NHS, kind of like one of those slots. But I think this is better. And I also was going to say, Sam, continue doing your blogs in the morning and where you modify the site. If you need to create a ticket, if something pops up in your head, I need to review this page, and there's not even a ticket. It's not even voted on. I said just do it. Create the ticket. No need to vote on it. And then if you do something drastic, we'll let you know.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting about Event Manager because, it gets back into this microservices. I think definitely good to keep exploring what the limits of what we can do with Jitsi are. I think there's going to be a point when we get Jitsi integrated where there's this issue of like keeping the site updated, with using WebSockets, which we would either need to upgrade website 1 to Rails 5 or switch to a different code base that was Rails 5 or with an Elixir backend or what have you. So the thing that you're thinking about, Matt, which is one, can we get the information out of Jitsi that's about who's present, right? That's the first step, right? Yeah. The second step is then, can we use WebSockets so that everybody who's looking at not necessarily the Jitsi plugin, right? They're maybe not necessarily actually watching it live because it sort of shows them who's present, right? But for somebody who's yet to join, for a page that's showing here are these things going on, and it's maybe just the video streams with the names underneath, can that page be kept up to date via WebSockets with the current in process? These are the videos that are streaming. These are the people who are present in each of these sessions, so that the video wall vision, right?
Yeah, I think it can. Yeah, I mean,
I would say it definitely can. I know it can, and I say that's the reason to upgrade to Rails 5.1. And it's just not to create another ticket or anything or another idea, but also having a little mini chat right there would be excellent with WebSockets. Yeah,
absolutely. And then the interesting thing is, I think it's probably easier to explore what's possible in Event Manager before doing the upgrade to. Although that's another ticket. If somebody is interested in doing research and just wanted to play around with trying to do a Rails 5 upgrade for the website 1, I mean, I guess maybe we should put that in the board.
Yeah,
it's one of those things that in my mind I'm kind of like, oh god, that's going to be really hard. Do you know what I mean? You think about it, and you kind of go, oh god. Ooh. But actually, maybe it wouldn't be too bad. I mean, I remember when we were going through
bad, and sometimes you hit something hard. So
so we've got this here. We've got an Epic Rails 5. We should upgrade. So if anybody wants to do research on that, please, it just sort of if you've got a chunk of time, just to see how many of the tests break, and whether the site even runs. So do feel free to check that out if anybody who wants to look at it. Cool. All right. Good. So if you guys want to carry on chatting, I'll leave this running. I'm going to go and start the Autograders meeting, but you guys feel free to carry on working here and hanging out. I know Arun and Lokesh, you guys maybe didn't get a chance to chat before. Maybe should I turn off the live stream and you guys can just have a chat amongst yourselves?
Yeah, sure. I mean, that sounds good. Federico, well, I don't want to. I think I've said everything.
Anyway, I'll tell you what. I'll stop the live stream.